only have 55 hours remaining disk space.
Same.
You don't even bring your computer.
What?
You don't even bring your computer.
No, my computer is on right now.
It's gonna be episode
Recording
33.
audio?
No.
That's what I thought.
It could be recording audio. My mic's on.
Hey everybody, welcome to BakaTaka, episode 33. What?
You started like literally the second I said cock. I mean, it's cool if you want to run with it.
Yeah, let's keep going.
I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
you to
Anyways,
start
sitting on the left, it's...
Wait, are we actually going? We're not starting over?
there. Yeah, this is it.
Okay,
yeah,
George.
this is it. In the middle, it's...
Eric.
And I'm on the right and I'm Chase. And you're listening to BakaTaka, episode 33.
33?
33.
I
It's
thought
been
you
a hot
said
minute.
34 a second ago.
No, it was technically it is the 34th episode,
Man, who
but...
even cares?
So there's a hidden episode where I was pretty belligerent. I think I said like episode 39.
I think you did. Well, to be fair, we didn't bother to look. So
I don't
it
know
makes
nobody bothered to
sense.
look, but I'm pretty sure I said like 39.
Yeah.
But this is 33. This is the right timeline.
Correct.
We're
So-
currently in...
This is the proper timeline.
We've reached the Steins Gate.
Yes.
Because there's an archived episode we might release someday.
Someday.
But,
Maybe bits and pieces. Who knows?
But basically, a certain pandemic was loosening up its rules, and we decided to go to a restaurant.
Yeah.
One that has margaritas.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. So normally margaritas come in those normal like margarita glasses that aren't like
But you got
super
those,
full.
But you got those tall styrofoam cups, and
so
they were packed.
they
The tower.
loaded it. It's like you
And I
got
mean-
3 margaritas in one.
It was a tower filled with kryptonite.
But I mean, you get it. You don't get it frozen. You get it like on
I got
the
the
rocks, which
It
means
was-
it's more concentrated what you actually drink, really.
It was filled.
Yeah.
I just remember.
And then you were filled.
Yeah, I was filled. The only thing I remember, we talked about fate.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of fate.
I only remember that because Chase came up to me at work and he was like, "I was just surprised you just like knew so much." I'm just like, ah.
Well,
Oh.
that you knew so much and you could still
I could-
comprehend it in that state.
Yes. I knew enough about fate to just blabber on about facts.
Guys, we're just teasing viewers of things they're not going to see. We need to
We
move
did it
on.
last time with the
Exactly.
the best of 2018 one until that one came out because we kept teasing it and then it didn't come out for like 3 weeks.
I mean, it happens.
It happened eventually, but this one's like
Yeah.
it's in the burnt library of Alexandria,
Yeah.
and we'll recover it somehow.
It's
someday.
with the Grist Let's Play and the
Oh. I never gone back to that.
and the
game
Let's
yet.
Make an Anime podcast.
Oh, those are like super archive. Those are like day
You're
one.
right. Those were old times.
Yeah.
Those are like day one
Well,
archives.
we got other things to talk about. Things
Yeah.
we've been playing, things we've been watching. There's a ton that I know Chase has watched. I've watched a little bit, but I think let's start with the stuff we've been playing that's like new because there's not a whole lot there, I think. I mean, for me, I decided because Last of Us 2 was coming out, one of my friends, he picked up a PS4 and for some reason he had a physical copy that came with it and he somehow had it digital
You're
already.
gonna say my brother.
You can actually
That's true, it
say-
was Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like dance around it. I just
No,
I'm just
I know
moving.
specifically because
Yeah.
Jeff gave it to you.
But I don't know. Okay, so I still don't understand how he had a version of each. But anyway, he didn't need.
It's Jeff.
I mean, that makes sense. He just buys games.
He
to
had a
have
physical
games.
copy and then it was free on PlayStation Plus before.
Oh,
you
is
even
that
opened
what it was?
Probably.
Okay. Well, either way, he had the physical and he didn't need it, so he just gave it to me, and I was like, cool. So I got that with like 5 days before Last of Us 2 came out, and I just ran through the game. Really good. Had some gameplay issues, but love the story.
Mhm.
Gameplay has issues, as in like
It just wasn't perfect.
user error or like.
It just wasn't super polished. It was not
Okay.
as polished as I would have liked.
It was a little
Like-
floaty.
Yeah,
Okay.
quirky kind of stuff. Like, there's like all the movement speed in the game kind of depends on like where you are. If you're like in action, you're moving really fast.
yeah.
If you're like doing like a slow walking thing, you're moving super slow.
Yeah.
But like all together, there's probably like 5 or 6 different like movement speed scenarios.
Yeah.
And like the transitions between them is just like every time, aside from when you're in combat, you're like, please let me walk 1 or 2 scenario higher than where I'm currently at.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I get it. There's people talking, and I'm supposed to be walking with them. But if you hide things in the environment, I'm going to be checking out the environment. And now I have to do that super slow, and they're walking away, and they keep talking. And does like that. They're like, you hear an echo of them. You're like,
Yeah, because
I can't hear them anymore. I got to catch up.
they're
and
like
then I have to run back
three
later.
rooms away. So
Exactly. And this one, Last of Us 2, still kind of does the same thing a little bit. It's a little bit better in the combat, just the controls and stuff overall are a little bit better. The weirdest thing when you go straight from the first one to the second one, though, is the health gauge goes in the opposite direction. So I was like the first fight or whatever I was in, I was like, oh, I don't need to use a med kit. I've got like almost full health. And then I realized it was in the opposite direction, and I was actually like one of like 4 segments. Like I had a quarter of my health left. I was like, oh,
so they
crap.
don't have like an indicator on screen then?
If you get low enough, it kind of changes color. But I was like, I guess right above that threshold. And I was very confused. I was like, oh, crap. I didn't die though. But the second one,
who dies in video games?
so far, the second one, I think, Chase, I think you share roughly the same opinion.
Yeah.
The game is very good. It's very polished. And the story isn't bad, but it doesn't live up to the first one because of some of the choices they make. It's not as captivating
I've
as
been
the
hearing
first
a lot
one was.
of it feels like that they skimped on the story to really polish the gameplay this time around.
I think that would be a fair assessment. I don't know if
'Cause
necessarily
I've heard a lot of people,
story though.
well, not like skimped on, but like cutting back on it, but more they invested more time to polish the gameplay,
It is,
and
very
the story
polished.
didn't
I would say
rise up to everybody's Naughty Dog expectations.
See, it's not even necessarily the story; it's the characters.
I think that's the thing everybody's saying. Like the characters aren't
as like Well, I mean, one of them are like there's like some of the same characters from the first game and stuff like that in it and stuff. But so like in this one, you're playing as Ellie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I've mentioned this before. George doesn't agree with me on this and stuff like that, but he just has a different perspective and stuff like that. I have a different one from him, but I don't like Ellie as a character.
I don't mind Ellie.
I think she's actually like really annoying. So,
I mean, that's a reason to not enjoy the game.
Or it's just like,
and the fact that you're forced to play as her for like the entire thing is just like.
Well, it's just crazy to me was Ellie goes from the first game telling Joel like, you're getting kind of crazy here. You need to like tone it down because like Joel goes a little like. He gets a little crazy, like killing these things.
Oh, yeah.
And when he starts like actually like fighting and killing people, like Ellie starts going like, "Hey, you need to like tone it down, Joel." Yeah. But then you come around in Last of Us 2, and she's just like
killing everything.
She's just a murder machine. You're just like, well, you went from like telling Joel to like stay back and calm down to you being a murder machine.
So I watched part of a review from Moist Critical. Couldn't watch the whole thing, I think, because
spoilers or something.
Yeah, like there's a couple that like, all right, oh, you're about to say spoilers. I need to stop watching whatever whatever you're about to say. I can't remember if his was like spoiler free or whatever, but anyway, I watched his and he kind of summed it up. He's like, not a huge fan. Like the whole story, the whole premise, the whole moral of this game is just revenge is bad. It's just jamming it down your throat. Revenge is bad. Revenge is bad. It's just everything just goes to the point. Hey, revenge is bad. It's just like, and he's not wrong. Yeah. I mean, I can still enjoy the game. It's still fun to play. Like you said, the gameplay is very polished. It works really well, and that keeps it interesting. But the story is very one tone, and the fact it's just revenge is bad, and the characters overall aren't necessarily as likable as the first one. And that's really just because Joel isn't in it as much. Because, I mean, at this point, if they don't know, Joel dies.
I love Joel.
Joel is such a good character.
Okay, I didn't love him, but
I did.
He was cool.
He was great.
Yeah, I love Joel.
He was a good player character.
He was definitely, because like there was like moral stuff, like that made me not like him.
Exactly.
Because of like how he takes things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy. And stuff like that. But like if he was like a real person, I probably wouldn't like talk to him.
But I mean, like, I think they did a very good job designing Joel with like all these super hard moral choices. Yeah. It's a post-apocalyptic world. Like a bunch of crazy stuff is going on. A lot of crazy things happen to him. Mm-hmm. So it's like you have to play this character that's making
he's hardened,
very rough decisions in his life.
Yeah, I mean, like I like Joel at the start of Last of Us too.
Yeah.
Like that Joel's like really cool. Like where he's just like, man,
But I
like,
mean,
I made a huge mistake, but at the same
at this
time,
point, Joel's
like,
I've found my second daughter Ellie, and I sacrificed the cure of the world to have her as my daughter.
right.
Kind of thing. So Joel's in a semi state of bliss of like, this is the life I wanted.
It's also a little bit less of like sacrificed the rest of the world. He's like, no, I murdered all of them to get her back.
Well, yeah, because I think canonically he murders all the scientists.
Yeah,
so he killed like basically everyone,
well,
including the doctor.
There's multiple endings.
Yeah, you killed. I don't think there's multiple endings.
I think there's multiple ways to go about it. You don't have to kill all the scientists.
You don't have to kill. You don't have to kill like the nurses.
Yeah, you have to kill the.
But I think canonically he murders like everybody.
Yeah, he murders everyone up to it, and he murders everyone on his way out.
Yeah, I think that's the canon part of it.
And the Fireflies establish themselves as like kind of being like they're not perfect. They're not perfect. They're terrorists and stuff like that, but they're like they're trying to like fix stuff.
They have a goal.
Yeah,
the goal was to find a cure, and
that cure
Joel
was Ellie.
Stopped it.
Joel kind of stopped it. Which at the same time, it's they've had people who had like been in Ellie's position before, and it didn't work.
Yeah,
and stuff. From what I understand, from what I remember from the first game, there was like because there was also a chance that it wouldn't work.
Yeah, because they also said it might not work, and because they explained it to Joel at some point.
I don't believe so. I'm pretty sure she was the only person they've ever found like that.
There was no.
I don't think there was anyone else.
I don't remember the specific.
Okay, that might not be it, but there was a chance that it wouldn't work.
I mean,
that was explained to Joel. That's why he also went super crazy.
Yeah,
because he's just like, man, I'm just blah 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 for a change.
Yeah, because I think
because that just falls on top of they have to kill her to make a cure.
Yeah,
and he was like, he's not okay with that already. He's gonna kill everyone, and then on top of that, they're like, also, it's really only like a 60% chance it works. Yeah. So hopefully it's the 60%, and that just kind of makes it worse. I think that's kind of it, but I don't think there was anyone else who's been immune before. She was the first one, as far as I remember, as I recall, and I've most recently played it. But good.
The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, still playing it. I think I've got about 10 hours left or so. And then Ghost of Tsushima comes out, and I don't know anything about it.
I don't know crap about it.
Like, they haven't shown us anything.
It's a samurai game.
I realize it's a samurai game, but like, they haven't released like a gameplay trailer.
No, there's like no information.
There's a gameplay.
At least nothing that I've seen.
There's gameplay for it.
Well, I just know the embargo on it releases like 3 or 5 days before the game comes out.
That's plenty of time to decide if I want to change my pre-order to something else.
And like the next 2 to 5 days, as of recording this, there might finally be
more information,
reviewer information,
like actual reviews that say, this game is really good. Or
because I know the review copies are out.
Yes,
but the embargo is not lifted. So
we gotta jump on that review bandwagon, man. We start getting games early.
Right here, BakaTaka.
We're not. I don't think that's.
No, not gonna have it.
Nah, because we have a hard enough time
getting together to do what we're supposed.
Getting together and then finding the time to play the game.
Exactly.
We need to do some recording. I've got like 20 half-beaten games sitting everywhere.
Yeah. Because I've been playing Nier Automata too, and I put that on hold for Last of Us. I've still got 2.5 playthroughs before I finish the 4 playthroughs that kind of encapsulate the whole series, and I want to try to get all the endings, all the little joke endings and stuff too.
Yeah, good luck with that. That's a grind.
It's not too bad from what it sounds like. I mean, if you just look at a guide and just be like, "Oh, I have to do this,"
if you look at a guide,
especially when you have the whole world unlocked.
No, I'm gonna play through the game normally, and then I'm gonna go to a guide and just be 100%
beat the game, and then when you can new game plus and chapter select, then it starts.
We'll see.
It starts getting a lot easier.
From what I understand, a lot of them are just little one-off things. Only a few of them are actually this is actually a story thing. Get this one because it's cool. Some of them are just you just blew up yourself in the bunker.
The only
that's
super
it.
Now the bunkers.
The only super hard ones going around killing the stuff and collecting the materials to get all the weapons.
Yeah.
So you can get that ending. So then you can fight a meal and get that ending.
Yeah, that one was the one that sounded like it was going to be the hardest one to get.
But it's not hard; it's just tedious.
But That game is so good. Oh, it's such a good world. Characters are great. It's much better than I even expected.
So let me ask you this: after one playthrough, like getting the first ending and stuff like that, you know your way around that map, don't you?
I would say yeah.
Yeah, you
pretty
like,
well.
You're like you go this way, that leads to the carnival. You go for the sewer,
because like
and
you
then you
first
can come out to Pascal's.
Like you first open up like that small like hub world area where it's like the forest and the skyscrapers and stuff, and like you
get the
like,
little
this all
cutouts.
just kind of looks all the same. I'm like, where am I? And by the end of your first playthrough, you're like, oh, I know exactly where this is and like how to get there. Like the little shortcuts.
The fact that it changes halfway through.
It is cool.
It's
so cool. But it's like, it's a lot smaller than you think.
But it's also really, the open areas are really open.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's so condensed and like memorable that it's not like it's open world enough. It's the perfect size scale. If it was any bigger, it'd feel like too much and it would almost get empty. Because if it were any smaller, it would be too constrained.
There's not a whole ton of stuff you can do.
Yeah.
The only area that's too big because there's because the only reason it's too big is they have some endings involved with things you have to farm and do out there. It's just too big. And there's a lot of stuff where it's just like you got to go to the specific point in the desert to loot stuff.
Yeah, I haven't.
You literally have to look at a guide.
I haven't even been through all the desert yet because there's like the sandstorm or whatever, so I can't even get to like the entire area. There's like an invisible wall at the moment still.
It's frustrating to deal with some of the stuff in the desert. But that's like my only complaint with the world size, and that is the desert is too big for some of the objectives that you have. Well, you don't have to do, but
that's fair.
Some of the objectives for what involve in the desert.
That does seem
but is so good.
I like that.
It's nice that with some of the different routes that you do play as the different characters too. You're not just 2B the entire time.
Yeah,
because you get to be 2B, you get to play as 9S, you get to play as A2. And then
wait, what? That's a spoiler. I didn't know that.
Oh no!
Narrators.
Okay, we've never
George did know that.
We've never been shy about spoil. I think.
Yeah, who cares?
The only thing we never spoiled was Promare. Until after September, when the director told us not to spoil anything.
That movie's so good. I want to watch it again.
Yeah, you're
right. That's because that. Okay, just to skip over to anime, we can come back to what you're playing.
Yeah.
We gotta talk, since we mentioned Promare, we gotta talk about Trigger.
Because BNA finally came to Netflix.
Finally came onto Netflix. I watched it. Chase watched it. Eric hasn't watched it.
I haven't watched anything.
Yeah, you haven't watched anything. I'm a huge fan.
It's really...
I love anything Trigger. Like, objectively, the show's like probably a 6 or a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, it's super predictable.
Threw it an 8 because I love Trigger. I like the characters. That soundtrack is really good. It gives you like that kind of Nightwire kind of almost like a cyberpunk vibe.
Yeah.
Like, it's got that kind of synthy 80s kind of feel. If you've ever seen the movie Drive with Ryan Gosling, it's got that kind of music to it. Very good movie. B&A, I loved it. I like the characters. The story's, like you said, predictable but decent.
The character design for the main character is like top notch. It's like the fact that she's a Tanuki, but like her fur changes at like points where it like looks like she would have socks. Like it's like, oh, okay, like it's like the ends of her hands and the ends of her feet or ends of her legs and stuff like that. Yeah. And it like for what she's wearing, it looks like she's wearing socks, but it's just her fur like at the bottom. Good. It's like, and it like everything about their like character designs are like really good. Like, and stuff. Even the main guy, I can't remember their names and stuff. That's one thing I can't remember is because they all have super Japanese anime names.
Yeah, I'm just bad with names.
I don't ever remember names either unless I absolutely adore the show. I usually just say this person with this hair, this feature.
Main character with white hair.
Yeah. That's how I've been referring to people in shows the past 5 years.
It's also like the action scenes are really cool. The baseball episode.
That baseball episode. It's a sports anime. You gotta watch it now. I love that the one character, Jackie, the name that I do remember is super English, Jackie. The fact that he just kind of keeps showing up and it's just like, this guy is so dumb. Yeah. He gets into so many shenanigans and you're just like, how does this character keep popping up?
It's me, Winnie the Pooh.
He's so good. Oh, man. I liked it. I had fun with it. It's 12 episodes on Netflix. Everyone has Netflix. You might as well watch it.
Speaking of something else that came to Netflix, it's only 12 episodes. And it came out actually a while ago, but we haven't been able to talk about it. It's the newest season of Pokemon.
Pokemon Journey!
Oh, so I haven't watched any of this. Tell me.
So it's the adventures of Ash and what's his English name?
Go. No, it's still Go.
They skipped his Go? Okay, because I haven't watched the English dub yet. You kick the table, you degenerate.
Nobody even knows until you tell them.
But it's the newest season with Ash and Go, and they've taken a new formula. Instead of traveling around and doing all the gyms and all that, it's them going around collecting data for the new professor.
Yeah.
And they visit
Professor Oak?
It's according to Professor Oak.
Oh. Elm?
No.
Birch?
No.
Not
Rowan.
How many other trees are there?
Not Rowan, not Juniper, not Sycamore, not any of the other professors I can't think of right now. But it's an anime-only professor.
Okay.
And they're going around collecting data for him from all parts of the entire Pokemon world.
Yes.
So one episode they're in Vermilion City, one episode they're in Ecruteak City.
I do like that.
Yeah.
I like that they make the whole world seem connected instead of just, it's this region.
Yeah, and they make a lot of the Pokemon feel less. So like all the mythic Pokemon and legendary Pokemon feel like, there's only one of them. But then the very first episode, they're riding a Lugia and doing all this stuff. But the way they're talking about and describing it, they're like, it sounds like there's mini Lugia in the world.
So I have to also mention this. In the Netflix version, that was in episode 1. I don't know if there's a pilot episode or something like that, but there's like a backstory for Go.
Okay.
So that before
that's episode 0. Yeah,
that's episode 0.
That is
okay,
episode
gotcha.
0. That is
so,
an actual episode 2. Yeah.
So that's episode 1 on Netflix.
Yeah, so they have Go's backstory. Then it gets into Ash meeting the new professor and Go and the professor's daughter.
Yeah.
And bringing all of them together. And then story from there.
I was also watching Sun and Moon before, because I finished X and Y last year, and then I started watching Sun and Moon, and then I stopped, and then I watched this one, and then I started watching Sun and Moon again. Sun and Moon's not that great.
It's not.
It's not. It's not fun.
Like, I think they upped the cheese to a maximum.
With
Sun and Moon.
Super cheesy.
Yeah,
there's
they
like
jump the shark.
Yeah,
that's because it was anti-traditional again, because he wasn't going around doing gyms. He was doing the gym challenges with all the gym leaders or the kahunas that were there.
He was fighting what's his face, Maputaku or whatever.
Yeah,
or
Tapu Koko.
I didn't play Sun and Moon,
but it's just like
I didn't play it.
Sun and Moon was weird too, because it was just like he lived at the professor's place doing all this stuff with all the gym captains.
Yes.
Doing some of the kahuna challenges and fighting the Tapus. So it was just weird. Like, it felt off, and they upped the cheese.
Like, it almost felt like it wasn't structured.
They
went for, instead of like structuring it differently, they were just like, let's not structure it and just kind of have, because let's just have characters doing fun things that are Pokemon-ish.
They're just like, this girl, like, she can't touch Pokemon, but here's a Pokemon egg, she can take care of that. And then it's like, now that she raised the egg and stuff like that, and it hatches into Pokemon and stuff like that, now this Pokemon's different. She can touch this one because that's her.
So
okay,
yeah,
interesting.
And spoilers: Ash finally wins a Pokemon League.
That's cool.
But it doesn't feel as grand because the Alola Islands Pokemon League isn't fully established. So it's just it feels like an empty win kind of thing.
That's not what my childhood wants.
When you're watching the X and Y Pokemon League, where it's like Mega Evolution X Charizard against Ash Greninja, you're like, is this finally Ash's chance to win a Pokemon League? And it's two firepower Pokemon going at it. Ash still loses, but it's just this, if he won this would have felt like a grand win. But the Alola Island victory, him finally winning a league, feels empty.
See, that's why I always kind of I feel like Pokemon, it hasn't changed at all, is my thing. Because I'm at this point, Ash has been through 15 different continents. He should be wrecking everyone. But instead, he's still 10 years old.
So that's actually a good point, because now they finally are okay, we need to redo this for the new series. Literally in the first episode, they pan through Ash's room and you see literally every gym badge and every league he's ever gone through. He has it on like a mantle.
So he's actually doing this stuff. He's a character that's
it's canonically
progressed
recognized
through a
that he's
story.
progressed through all of these regions and they've shown it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And like, man, it's only episode 12. You know this is
Which
gonna
means
go.
he's wrecking everyone in this show, right?
He's actually has Go. Go is like his apprentice.
Okay.
And he's actually like an officially recognized like Pokemon master.
Go
is
Go wants to capture every Pokemon in the world.
gotta complete that Pokédex.
Yeah.
Gotta catch them all.
He's literally just like, he goes to the Kanto region and he catches all the bug types in the Kanto region.
Dang.
Yeah, and like in the span of like 10 minutes.
So
Wow.
basically, they actually kind of hinted at this, I think, in some interviews, but they're like, maybe we want to move away from Ash, kind of thing, because I think they also want to make Go like a main character.
They're testing the waters. With
Yeah, they've tested a ton. I think we've talked about this on the podcast before. Like they had a movie release that was like done in a completely different art style, and a different way of storytelling Pokemon and all that. So I think they're really just kind of like throwing about a ton of fishing lines out and like, what are we going to catch and what's going to stick?
Yeah.
So now that they've made it canon that Ash has actually like won all the badges and his stuff, and he's like an actual master. Is he still 10 years old?
Technically, he had a birthday in X and Y, right?
I believe,
Because Lily threw him, not Lily,
Serena
threw him a birthday party.
So he's 11.
But they didn't say his age.
Yes.
So,
but he had a birthday.
Okay.
He had a birthday. And
Well, they have birthday Pikachu, right?
He's also done like some Christmas specials, you know.
Yeah.
And so there's a couple Christmases that have gone by.
But canonically, through all the series, he's had one birthday.
One birthday.
Yeah.
One birthday.
One birthday.
I love it.
So this isn't really like, I wouldn't say this is like spoilers and stuff because it's only episode 12 of like a series that's probably going to be like at least 100 episodes.
Yeah, but I mean, it's spoil away.
With the fact that he literally goes to what's the Galar region? Is that the newest one?
Yeah.
He literally goes there and watches what's his face, the main guy, the Elite Four guy from Kanto region. Was it Blaine? Not Blaine. Lance and Leon like just go head to head in like the world championship.
So they actually have like outside characters coming.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it's awesome.
so
they're finally established that all the regions are like loosely like connected to each other, that they can travel from region to region.
Oh, that's
why they're just like Ash can just go to these different regions.
Okay, so what does that mean with like Misty and Brock? Are they in the show?
What happens to
all these other
Technically,
companions?
they could bring back any character. They could bring back what's his face from
Tracy
from the Johto region.
I just want May and Max.
Well,
May
Tracy's
and
from
Max
the
were
Orange
the
Islands.
best.
or
Yeah.
but like but like
Max and May.
May and Max.
May and Max.
Max and May.
Max and May. That sounds backward.
Well, that's because he's younger.
But regardless, with how they're doing the series now, it makes me wonder if they have some other plans for the games too, to maybe finally like
That'll be interesting.
have finally like a giant game, like an open world, maybe like a Breath of the Wild style game. But that's like far reaching out there.
Great, I'm gonna end up buying more Pokemon. I'm not gonna play.
But regardless, it's
just like Animal Crossing.
But Pokemon Journeys is definitely worth watching.
The turnaround that they're doing and the changes they've made, I think, are smart.
And Netflix got it, so you're only watching like 12 episodes at a time.
Yeah,
that's true.
So
that does make it easier, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, because the actual Japanese one is pretty far in already.
Yeah, well, so that one started in October last year, right?
Yes.
Which means that what we watched is basically everything that was captured last year.
Okay, so like one season essentially.
So yeah, they're
one
like
core.
they're like 26 episodes ahead of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's
seems
pretty
easy
good. It's
enough.
pretty good. I like it.
Fun times.
Yeah.
Pokemon Journeys.
Yeah, that's all the major new stuff that's come out on Netflix that we've checked out.
Yeah, I think those are the only two things that I knew about. Yeah,
I mean,
just BNA and Pokemon, and I didn't even really know about Pokemon. I knew you mentioned it before now, but this is the first time we talked about it.
We finally talked because Chase has watched it all, and I've seen a bit of it before it came out on Netflix.
Yeah.
So we could finally discuss it.
Good.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. I enjoy that because I mean, even though I don't play the games anymore, Pokemon was still a pretty big part of my childhood. I watched the shows. I watched the movies. I played everything except the cards.
You got wrecked on Showdown.
But you
Shut
got.
up.
But
They don't need to know about that,
But you
Eric.
collected the cards.
I collected the
Kind
cards.
of.
Oh, okay.
Kind of.
I think my dad took them and sold them, but I collected them.
Man,
That sounds like
I had like 5 different kinds of marsh stomps.
we
It was
were
crazy.
so bad at playing that game.
It's because we didn't play it. We just made stuff up.
What, the card game?
Yeah. We
Me
made
and my
up
brother
rules.
would just split the cards up, and then we would say whoever has the higher health
Yeah.
would win. We would play war with them. Really, that's what we would do. We play war, and whoever had a higher health got the card.
I kind of knew the rules because I played the trading card game for Game Boy Color, which had a fire theme, by the way.
Good.
I'll have to play it for you guys
We'll have to
later.
check that out. Yeah.
But it's one of the best themes I've ever heard in a Pokemon game.
Pokemon trading card.
Yeah,
game.
but I knew a bit of the rules because I played a lot of that when I was younger. Because Jeff bought it, I think, for the Game Boy Color. He played for a bit. I think he beat it and then put it down. And then I picked it up and I played nonstop.
Gotcha.
So I knew a bit of the rules.
That explains a lot. That explains why Eric is so into Pokemon and has to get into the competitive scene every time a new one comes out.
I mean, I'm
He's
still
been
into
trained.
Pokemon. I mean, I got Blue for my 5th birthday?
Oh, dang.
5th or 6th birthday?
I don't even know if I had video games until I was 10.
Oh, I definitely had.
Oh, no.
I was
think
like
8.
I was definitely like 6 when we got like a Game Boy Color. I was like 5 or 6, and me, Chris, and Corey all got a Game Boy Color for Christmas.
When did the DS come out? 2006? 5?
No, it was before that.
Was it?
Like it was like
I got a DS when it first came
it was
out.
like a year after the GameCube or something like that.
Yeah.
Was it?
No,
Really? No. There was a bigger gap.
Because
though.
GameCube was still doing a bunch of like
Yeah,
Game
Game
Boy
Boy
Advance
stuff.
functionality stuff.
Yeah. But the GameCube came out in 2001, right?
I think so.
Yes, the
Yeah.
GameCube was 2001.
So it had been 2003 or 2004 when the DS came out.
That sounds right.
Something like that.
We
got
got the
it.
lore master.
Yeah,
looking it up.
November 21st, 2004.
Okay.
So I got one in 2004, which meant I would have been 7 years old. I got one when I was 7 because I got it that holiday season.
Right.
And I don't know if we had the game because the Wii came out in 2008 or 9.
The Wii came
When
out.
did the Wii come out?
The Wii came out in like 2005 or 6.
What?
2005 or 6, yeah.
No.
I think
Impossible.
I think I was like a junior in high school.
No, it was because the PlayStation 3 came out
No, I
after
didn't
the Wii
say
did.
Wii U. I said Wii. When did the Nintendo Wii
The PlayStation
release?
3 came out in
What?
2006.
Yeah,
and that
November
was-
19, 2006.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't think. it came
Okay, so that
out.
was 2006. The DS came out, when did I say? 2004.
2004, the end of
November
November.
2004.
So I can't remember if I had a GameCube before I had DS or not. But me and my brother and sister all pooled our money together to get the GameCube. It was back when like Best Buy would do like the system bundle. We got the GameCube. We got like 2 controllers. So we had to buy a 3rd controller, and it came with Smash Bros. Melee and Metroid Prime.
It came with
we
Smash
got that
Bros.
same bundle. Me and Jeff, we got
Pretty great,
for
right?
like Christmas or something.
We did
got
not
as
get
a
that bundle. We got the silver GameCube.
Okay.
Ours was a Silver GameCube. Yeah.
Yeah,
we had
But it was
purple.
like it wasn't like it was a bundle like you would buy a bundle now. You just go and you get the
Right, it was
Uncharted 4 PlayStation 4 bundle. The
It was just a deal
Death
that
Stranding.
GameStop was
It was
giving.
like the Best Buy assembled bundle.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it had this
They have
big
it like
plastic
shrink
thing,
wrapped.
It had like the clicky like plastic
Yeah, I mean,
clamshell.
a lot of them did that
like-
because I
Oh,
remember
it was so good.
They have the games shrink wrapped to the box.
Those were the days, man.
before GameStop bought them out, Electronics Boutique, we had one of those, and they had their bundles.
Is that what EB stands for?
Electronics Boutique?
I had no idea. I just thought it
What?
was EB Games.
No, it's Electronic Boutique.
I just knew it as EB Games.
It was
the whole time.
Electronic
I never knew
Boutique,
it.
and then
Okay.
they renamed themselves to EB Games.
That
and
sounds
then they
so
got bought out by GameStop.
That's stupid sounding.
That's hilarious.
Anyways, they had some of their deals where it's like a Luigi's Mansion and a Rogue One,
okay.
or
Okay,
some
yeah,
of these
yeah,
okay.
other like GameCube games that you got as a
Luigi's
bundle.
Mansion was a launch title for that.
Yeah. But the
So-
very first system I ever got, I was 4 years old, and I got a Super Nintendo
Oh,
with
Ooh.
Super Alfred Chicken.
we had a SNES in our house, but it was my aunt / cousins. There's some weird family stuff going on there. I don't have to get into it here. But it was her, so we got to play it a little bit. You know, Donkey Kong,
Yeah.
Country, you know, Super Mario World. Couldn't play, you know, air quotes around play. No idea what I was doing.
Right.
I had no concept of how to play a game.
Same.
But it existed. And it was cool.
We were pretty much up to date with everything Sony. Whenever a new Sony thing would come out, it was like less than a year by the time we would get it. But Nintendo, up until the GameCube, we were always a generation behind. And so,
before I had the GameCube and before I had the DS, the only games like that I played other than the SNES, which I again didn't really play, those plug and play. The plug and play system, the Namco Museum plug and play system.
Wait, you're talking with the
just the joystick and the one button?
You just,
oh
the
my
AV
gosh.
cables to the TV.
Yeah, one of the best things in the freaking world.
There was
man.
a lot of games on that.
Namco, it
had
had
like 50 games on them.
Yeah.
I think it was only like 12.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure.
You might have had like.
Well, it depends on which one you get.
Because I know they had like
a
the 50
billion of
games.
them.
Yeah.
But the Namco one, it had like Bosconian, which is like my favorite arcade game ever because of that. Had like Rally X, you know, Pac-Man. I think Rolling Thunder was on there. Maybe Sky Kid.
Yeah,
Mappy.
Because the popular one was the Atari.
Yeah, the Atari one was the biggest one, I think.
Because that one came out and
then you had all the Nickelodeon ones, like the one that looked like SpongeBob and the joystick was his nose.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
Those ones all had like proprietary games that they made specifically for it, though, and they weren't very good.
Yeah.
Scott the Woz on YouTube actually has like a really good like review of them. Like, just go watch his video. If you haven't watched Scott the Woz on YouTube, highly recommend his channel. He's hilarious.
If we're recommending YouTube channels, I also started listening to the Gaming Historian.
Gaming Historian.
I've listened to some.
I've never even heard of him.
Really cool. He talked about like random like accessories, like how the GameCube Game Boy Advance adapter thing that you
I had that.
Yeah,
I had that.
yeah,
I have it too.
Had it too. And he talked about the ones that were on like the Super Nintendo and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like the game.
What?
There's a Game Boy players.
There is
for like the Super Nintendo,
I
Nintendo
did
64.
not know that.
Nintendo 64 actually.
Did he do a one on the Game Boy printer?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched that.
It sounds like he has stuff similar to what Scott the Woz does.
Yeah,
He'll
he's just like, hey, look at this old crap.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. Gaming
Can
Historian.
we just throw, like, are we able to just link their channels in our thing? Is
Yeah,
that like
I'll
an
throw-
okay thing to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can do that.
Let's make sure that
listens
happens.
to this. Jackson.
That's
Jackson.
Oh, they're just rolling ads now. Jackson's not going to watch anymore.
Does Jackson even listen to the podcast? Or
Yeah,
does
he
just watch the
does.
Let's
He
Play?
leaves, like, comments on everything.
Oh.
I don't read them.
He calls George out on everything.
Oh.
Wait, what? Well, maybe I'm glad I don't read it.
I guess George has a lot of wrong
Well, I was
information.
talking to the kid, and he's like, hey, since we're talking, y'all need to record more gameplay for a hat in time. I need more Chase being bad at video games and you saying things that are blatantly wrong. And I'm like, I'm offended, but I'm just gonna, like, we're just texting. It's not like we're in person. I'm not gonna, like, I'm just like, why are you gonna say this? I'm just, whatever. I'll make sure it happens. We're recording today.
All the wrong information.
Come on. Like, what do you mean? I want to. What did I say that was wrong?
Check the tapes.
He didn't provide any sources. He didn't back up his claim. And I wasn't going to press it because it was a public chat. There were other people there. You know, it wasn't like he was calling me out one-on-one. It's just like 13 other people.
And he's calling you out. Ooh.
It's like, come on, man. And then someone else was like, hey, you got to provide the viewers what they want. And I'm like, shut up.
This is Michael saying that.
I think it was him or someone. Anyway, yeah, there's...
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I feel like I'm taking the brunt of the blame for this. I'm like, I never even asked for a podcast. This was all Chase's idea.
I mean, originally you weren't even going to be on it.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Why am I
No,
just
I was.
hearing... I was an afterthaught on
No, he was
BakaTaka?
totally gonna be on it.
Because you asked me at first, and you're like, "Oh, let's do that." I was like, "Maybe we can get a third person on here."
Well,
It's
that's
like,
because I knew George would do it before you would do it.
Yeah.
And so I had to get the hard one
Yeah,
first.
Eric, I'm a pushover.
He's easier to bully than you are.
wow.
It's true.
Wow.
Like, seriously, you hooked me up with your friend group,
Yeah.
Brendan and everything.
He bullies the crap out of you.
One day, the first time we actually talked, he's already bullying me. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, let's hop on Warzone. I'm like, cool, Warzone's free. He's like, man, we want to play multiplayer, but you don't have it. And then 2 minutes later, I've been bullied into buying Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
It was like the first time we talked.
You used to bully George too. Like,
Yeah.
well, yeah,
I
like
bully George all the time.
yeah.
I don't even mind now. I mean,
I just think it's
I
hilarious
freaking
that
love
you
him.
got into my friend group and they just bullied you incessantly.
I freaking love him. Brendan is great. John, big cat.
He
John.
finally got a nickname.
Oh, what's his nickname?
Spare parts.
It hasn't caught on though. Like, so I was talking to Ben. Ben was like, "Yo, by the way, we got a nickname for you, Spare Parts." And I was like, "Oh, how did that happen?" I was like, "I don't really remember." Just someone was like, "We need spare parts or something," while we were playing. I don't know. You were probably playing Albion Online or whatever, and someone said, "We need spare parts," and then Ben was just like, "Oh, I'll text George or whatever." So now Spare Parts is my nickname, and I was like, "Awesome! I'm just gonna jump in the chat one day, and I'll be like, it's your boy Spare Parts,' and they'll probably be like, he's already owning it." It's like my only option at this point.
Right,
I've been dubbed Spare Parts.
Right.
I did that. No reaction. They didn't even care. I was like, is it my
We're not
nickname
going to
or
get
not?
excited about something like that.
I just was
We'll
hoping.
give you fake excitement.
Thank you. That's all I'm asking for.
Because whenever I get in chat, I was like, hey, it's your boy Butter Toast. And Big Cat's like, hey, yo. We've like giga derailed here.
We did.
What were we talking about? We were talking about video games.
We got video games. We then got into Netflix
Mhm.
series.
No,
then
we
got
were talking about video game consoles.
No, I'm
No,
saying
we were
like,
talking
how
about
it all started.
YouTubers. We were talking about
Oh.
YouTubers, and then we got here.
But it started with what we're watching on Netflix.
Yeah.
And we've kind of derailed here.
Well, because you mentioned Promare,
Which derailed to Netflix.
which derailed to
to
BNA, which derailed to Netflix, which derailed
To
to
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Which derailed to,
Which-
to
consoles,
video game.
To video game.
Yeah.
The consoles we had through the generations to YouTubers talking about accessories to you.
Stupid
Yeah.
Spare Parts nickname. I'm a freaking idiot.
Do I have a nickname?
You don't talk.
I mean, I used to call you Cyclops.
That's true.
Well, that's kind of rude.
It's funny.
It's kind of derogatory, don't you think?
Do you hate it?
I liked it.
Yeah, I know.
thought it was really-
So let's talk about anime.
Let's talk about anime.
So it's not exactly. So I haven't had a whole lot of time to do a whole lot of stuff recently. Because
Okay.
literally 1 week for
Yeah.
work, I worked 75 hours.
Yeah,
Wait,
how are you gonna?
How?
How are you ever
That's-
gonna play Soccer Wars?
You know that's 2 work weeks, right?
Yeah, I got 2 work weeks of pay.
Holy crap.
Yeah, but I work 75 hours in a week. So that shows you how little time I've had. And then the next week I work 60 hours.
That's not healthy.
Correct, but I'm here.
Okay, good. Yeah. I mean, it checks out.
So I haven't had a lot of time to watch stuff, but I got into something kind of weeaboo anyways.
Mm.
So since I haven't had a whole lot of time to
Back into Azure
actually
Games.
play video games or watch stuff, I've been getting back into MMOs
Okay.
where you can kind of just like get on, do something,
Yeah.
and then just get right the F off.
Yeah.
So I've been playing a lot of Black Desert Online.
I keep seeing you on Discord playing Black Desert Online. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know what this is, and I don't want to look it up.
So it's a Korean sandbox MMORPG.
What do you mean by sandbox?
So you know what a sandbox game is.
Yeah, it's just kind of like do whatever you
So
want.
a sandbox MMO is literally just do whatever you want. Want to go kill some creatures, go kill some creatures. Want to go do some life skills, go do some life skills. You want to ride around on a horse for an hour and a half, go ride around on a horse for an hour and a half.
Okay.
You can pretty much do anything to get skills and whatnot and just progress the
Interesting.
life of your character.
Nice.
So I've just literally the 1 hour of free time I have a day has been going to that.
Have you been playing it with anyone else, or just are you the only one
No,
picking
I'm just
it
the
up?
only one. Nobody else wants to play it. It's just a game that you can really just enjoy
That's
by
cool.
yourself, just goofing around.
Nice.
Like you can play with other people, but it's not.
So is it different from other MMOs like WoW, RuneScape, Albion Online, in the fact that those are all kind of like they're open world and you can do whatever you want, but at the same time, it's like there's clear things you're supposed to do to like keep playing the
So
game.
there's different classifications of MMOs. WoW, Final Fantasy 14, ESO. I don't know about Guild Wars 2, but they're called theme parks. So the idea is go in there, kill boss monsters,
Okay.
do things like that.
Okay.
Sandbox is like RuneScape, Albion.
Just have a separate life.
Yeah, it's literally just you're dumped in the world, and there's just a million different things you can do, but there's no clear end game goal.
Okay.
It's
So if you
just-
want to just be a logger, just go cut trees down and make logs if you want to. Okay.
If you want to just fish for the rest of your life, go fish.
So you don't. Okay.
Go
so you don't actually have to go and kill monsters if you don't want to.
You don't have to, no.
Yeah, except for things where it's like, oh, you need to have this kind of resource, and then you have to kind of delve into that, or you can just buy it because people just put things in the marketplace.
I mean, technically, you can just, but like you can make money being a fisherman, and then just be like, oh, I need this for this, I'll just go buy it from somebody else.
That I
does
do
this.
like that system. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That you can just buy
With
whatever
the
you want.
MMO junkie.
Yeah. I mean, like, so I've been watching a lot of back to YouTubers.
All right.
Other YouTubers.
Yay!
I've been watching
Full circle.
I've been watching a lot of the lazy. I don't know if it's the Lazy Peon or just Lazy Peon, but Lazy Peon and Cryfu, they put up a lot of like MMO first impressions or upcoming MMOs and stuff like that.
Is there that much content in the world of MMOs to do that?
MMOs are a quick cash grab. So a lot of companies and a lot of people will make MMOs for like early accesses and stuff like that, or just like cash grabs.
Oh.
So people,
And then they just die.
especially like Eastern MMOs, will just pump them out to get that initial cash grab, and then kind of just let the game die.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was like a subculture of that game.
There are a
That
lot of
genre.
really
Okay,
crappy
MMOs?
MMOs that get
Yeah.
pumped out.
I did not know that.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I don't really play MMOs.
Yeah,
so.
because like there's a lot of like big name MMOs that have stuck around, like Guild Wars 2, WoW, Final Fantasy 14, Elder Scrolls Online,
Fantasy
Star
Star
Wars,
Online 2.
Fantasy Star Online 2, Black Deserts, Terra. All of these have stuck around, and they're names in the community.
They're decades old.
But then you've got like a list of like 100 other MMOs. They're just like they come and go.
no idea. That's so interesting.
And then there's some other like free one, like Maple Story has been around forever. Some of these other things like
Wait, is Maple
Cabal.
Story an MMO?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I know nothing about I know nothing about Maple Story. I just heard the name. I just didn't realize it was an MMO.
Yeah, like you have these big names that have established.
Yeah.
They're basically like the things that set up the world of MMOs. Like
That's cool.
they're like the grandfathers.
Yeah.
And all these other ones are just they just keep popping up and then die.
They're like what everything else is derived from.
Yeah. So there's I've been watching a lot of Lazy Peon and Cryfu and stuff about different MMOs, which got me to pick Black Desert because I used to play Black Desert like 2 or 3 years ago. You picking your noses?
He was picking his,
Why are
though.
you picking your
I'm not
nose?
picking my nose.
You were definitely
Let me
picking your
just
nose. Your
scratch
finger
my
was like
nose.
halfway up there.
Shut up! You can't even see, Cyclops. What are you talking
Digging
about?
for gold. He's digging for spare parts in his
Y'all are
nose.
lying. Y'all are lying on a thing that has no
Spare
video.
parts is digging for spare parts.
This is defamation. I'm gonna sue.
What
know.
was your nickname?
I don't really
Buttertoast.
have a nickname.
Buttered
I
Toast.
just called myself Buttered Toast.
Gotcha. Your self-inflicted nickname.
Yeah.
Does it's like Josh and Ollie Benny?
They
and
don't-
stuff?
they don't have
Do they
nicknames.
have?
No.
They don't have nicknames.
No,
I have a nickname.
I mean Ben. We
I've
don't.
got-
I'm elite.
We don't ever call Ben by his nickname. He's Gentle Jerk. The only person we call their nickname is Big Cat, only because I only call him Big Cat, and I keep calling him Big Cat.
Yeah, I kind of switch between the two. I'm like, oh, Brent. Talking to Brennan. Oh, I'm sorry, Big Cat.
Like Ben only calls him
Correct
Big
my-
Cat
I'm
now.
gonna correct myself.
So he is like even in my phone, I have him as Big Cat with a picture of a
Big cat.
literal big cat.
Nice, like a tiger or a lion.
It's a prowling leopard. It's a big cat.
Is that a leopard or is it a cheetah? I don't. No, that's a leopard.
Yeah,
You're
it's
right.
a leopard.
You're
I'm
like,
not-
now that I look at it, it's definitely a dog.
I don't think I identify big cats.
But like, I told him one day, I was like, I'm changing you and my contacts to Big Cat, and he was like, I want this as my picture. So he sent me that picture, and
I
that's
love
been my
it.
picture. And then,
What are you gonna do? Disagree?
then on Discord, he changed his profile picture to that lion because he's a big cat.
Yeah, makes sense.
So,
Nice.
I like it.
but he's the only one we call by their nickname.
He just puts a picture of Aslan on.
Which he doesn't use as his like username on anything.
No, he uses Alec.
Yeah, and then like sometimes I say at, but like no one ever says that.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
I was like,
we never
I
use
like Brendan, Big Cat.
we never use our internet handles. It's like that's just weird.
Yeah,
I
don't know.
was talking to my brother one time, and we were in like a group chat on like I think a server with his friends or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, young Nug," and I was just like,
No.
"Please stop."
Makes me feel salty.
Yeah.
Like, so we were playing a game called Atlas, the pirate game.
Yeah.
George knows about it.
Yeah.
But we're playing
That's
that.
okay.
And
MMO.
the guys were telling you about BG and all them. Big Cat was calling me my internet handle during the entire thing. He called me Embarcation. And I'm just like, dude, you can just call me Eric. This is too weird. Just stop calling me my internet handle.
Stop!
Because the only people that literally call me Embarcation don't call me Embarcation. They call me Ember.
Embro, yeah.
They shorten it.
Yeah.
Right.
So when I
We
played
can say
WoW
that,
for all
you know,
those
the
years,
syllables are in imbrication.
Yeah.
Too many, I'll tell you that.
so even when I played WoW all those years, they shortened my internet handle to
It's
Embro.
four syllables.
But it's just like it's so weird when Big Cat calls me my internet. I don't want it to happen. It's just gross.
You can always ban him from the Discord.
I'm never gonna ban him.
Yeah, I know.
I'll ban you from the
Yeah, you'll
Discord.
ban me from the Discord.
How about that?
Nice.
Even I freaking hate it, man. Ben does something wrong to offend you, and like, oh, time to ban George.
Ben did something stupid, and we're like, I'm gonna ban you. Or I think Big Cat said, we need to ban Ben. I was like, well, let me go ban George while we're at it.
It happens.
Yeah.
At the same time, I do hold the record for person who's been banned the most and came back.
Yeah.
returned.
Comes back.
Because the other
Was
people we
returned.
banned haven't returned.
Yeah,
They are permabanned.
I'm in a league of my own.
You could say a League of Legends.
They've just found out that banning is bullying me, and they're okay with that.
Of course.
They're not actually banning me.
We're bullying you.
Yeah, and it's like, don't. That's like a whole server that like I can't look at anymore for the time being.
Oh no, you're not missing much.
I know,
I didn't even
but
know.
what I am missing is enough
Yeah.
to hurt.
I got this
Tell you
blister
that.
right here. I didn't even notice that.
So
Probably
how
from
about
one of the-
anime?
Oh yeah, back to what I was saying. I've been
Oh,
playing a lot of.
yeah.
I can't watch a whole lot of anime, so I've been playing Black Desert. But the anime I did watch was I watched a few episodes of Villainous.
Ooh.
Yes, my life
So like
is
the
Villainous.
beginning of Villainous.
No, like the
Or-
middle of the Villainous.
Okay, so
What
you already
episode?
watched the beginning.
Yeah, I watched like the first four episodes, something like that.
So you watched episode 7.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I think I watched 4 to 7 the last time I sat down.
Okay, so that's where I'm at. I just finished 7.
Oh, okay, cool.
I think I've got like 2 or 3 episodes left. I haven't wrapped out most of the shows from this season.
Episode 8 was out, but I didn't watch it on Tuesday. So.
I like Villainous.
I sat down to watch it, but just like I can't concentrate. I think I was so just tired
No,
that I was
know.
like I can't concentrate.
Episode 7 was like, it was at the point where I was like, okay, if this doesn't change something, like by this episode and stuff like that,
This bad show.
it just like drops in quality because it's just doing the same thing and stuff.
Yeah.
And then that's the episode that does something different where
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, here's her in her past life.
It's like they set things up to happen and they're actually following through with things happening. And I
Yeah.
like that. I appreciate that.
And how far are you? Are you?
That's a good question. I think I'm at episode 10. I think
Okay.
I've seen
Okay.
10 episodes.
Gotcha.
It's just like it was starting to follow a formula where a bunch of other shows like hit a status quo and they want to stay at that. It's like
Yes.
like Beaufrey, like it hit a status quo of like she gets a power and then kind of like some people trickle in and out, but it's just like they hit a status quo and just like it's so.
Hey, in its defense, I love Beaufry.
Beaufry's fun.
It was
which
just dumb
which is
fun.
based off of an MMO.
Yes, it is.
Mabinogi.
That's where actually most of my MMO experience comes from.
Yeah.
MMO based anime.
Yeah,
Nice.
but like Beaufry is actually based off of the author's experience with playing Mabinogi.
Mabinogi.
Yeah, it's an MMO.
Not familiar.
But that's a different story for a different day. Villainous started to hit that status quo. It's like, oh, we've hit like a part in the story, but if we progress, like it might be bad. If we stay where we're at, we can't get any worse.
Yeah.
But they shifted the tone, and like, oh, I like where this is heading now. What do you?
I'm trying to like see like where I am on things, and Verve is really weird. Like apparently Tower of God has 3 seasons and 35 episodes on Verve, and let me tell you, doesn't have 3 seasons. Also, they only list 2 seasons, and both of them are listed as season 1. 1 sub, 1 dub.
Wind up, yeah.
I have 1 episode left of that. I enjoyed Tower of God. Chase, like there's nothing I can say about it. I enjoy Tower of God. Not perfect, but like I'd give it probably like
I watched the first episode.
somewhere between a 7 and 8 overall. I think Chase's opinion of Tower of God is more interesting. So Chase, you tell him what you think about Tower of God.
So I watched the first episode of Tower of God in the sub version, and I wasn't a big fan of it. I was like, this is cool, but I feel like they're not using the character design style to its fullest potential that it could be, and so that.
Yeah.
And also, that's also because the show at the start is a lot different than how it ends up becoming.
Yeah.
And stuff. It's
100%.
It is very different in its because it becomes not typical, but it becomes more shonen the longer it goes on.
Yeah.
Whereas the start of it feels like it would be something like Shinsei Kaiori.
At the start, the way they introduced the characters just felt off to me.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And it I was like watching it and I was just like, this is trying to be creepy, right?
Yeah.
And so that, especially for like the first episode, because it's like ooh, mysterious.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's the tower? Ooh, who's this god character and stuff like that. And then like the second half, it's just like now you're in a death match and stuff like that. And it's like there's like the point, like up to that point and stuff like that for the entire first episode, it feels like there's like a bunch of dread around this character.
Yeah.
This main character. There's like no hope around him.
So what I've found recently was when I watch shows where like they introduce everybody in like a negative vibe and environment, I don't ever feel connected to the characters.
Correct. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't feel like I can
Like
relate
the
to.
Letner.
Yeah, I don't feel like I can relate to their experiences. I don't feel like I can. I just don't like their situation. I don't like them.
Yeah.
It just doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah.
So if they introduce them like in a negative way, it's just not fun.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And for like for Tower of God, I was watching it and I was like, I mean, I'm gonna continue this with the dub because the dub's airing, and it was on episode 3 by the time I was like in.
Yeah, I mean, if you got kind of like behind, you might as well switch to the dub if you enjoy it.
So I was like, I'll switch to the dub. That always improves my watching experience, no matter what.
That's fine.
Dub always just helps things. So I started watching it. I was watching it, and my dad was beside me, and so he started watching it too. And like the longer it went on, and the more shonen-y it became, and the less like there's still mystery and like still like who are these people and stuff like that. Yeah. But there's a lot less dread in it the longer it goes on.
The dread comes back.
Okay, but right now it's definitely like not really there. It's just like, man, how are they? Who's going to advance to like the next? Like, Who's going to make it? Who's going to pass the test and stuff like that?
Yes.
It's because they're introducing all these characters and they're introducing stuff you like about them.
Yeah.
And these are the ones that aren't dying.
I was happy when a lot of the characters that I expected to just be one-off throwaways, like actually got some level of character development and are becoming more important.
Like the
than
jumpsuit guy.
We're gonna be.
Jumpsuit guy.
Yeah, right? Like I thought he was just a little laughing stock at the beginning. And no, he's still here doing things.
Well, like the jumpsuit guy and a few of the characters he meets in the death match that seem like villains.
The one girl who,
they become long-running like best friends of the main character.
Yeah.
So
they already seem like it, like at this point after like they just keep like talking like to the
like,
Bond's his name, right?
A lot of the characters with a lot of how they design the characters and with how they act when we first met them, it doesn't seem like they would become long-running characters. But
Bam with his redesign, like when he gets like the headband and stuff like that, he looks like he's like part of the Black Bulls from Black Clover. Like that's because they have the like
we haven't seen that.
They have the yellow trim around their black like cloaks and stuff like that, and they have like the headbands and stuff, or at least the main character has a headband and stuff. So that's all I keep thinking of when I see him. At the same time, I'm just like, what? You don't like Black Clover?
I have no interest in Black Clover, so I'm playing with myself.
Oh, I got you.
You can't just say there's no video. You can't just say I'm just playing with myself because I don't like Black Clover. Eric, what are you thinking? You have to understand what the viewers don't expect now.
Why they can think whatever they want.
But anyways,
Eric doesn't care.
Anyways, I'm watching it with my dad.
Cool.
It's a lot more enjoyable. I'm actually like invested in what's going on.
I'm happy to hear that because I like it when people like the things I like.
Yeah, because it was technically the second show this season where I was just like, well, it had a different part where I watched the first episode and I was like, I'm not a big fan of this. Whereas Villainous, I was like, I know what this is about. I'm not gonna watch this.
And then you didn't, because I told you it was great.
Well, I mean, I knew what it was, but at the same time, like actually watching it, like how it plays out and stuff like that, how Villainous plays out, where it's not like I mean, it is kind of super generic-y, but she's not just like avoiding the death flags and stuff like that. She's fixing the problem.
Yeah, you're welcome. I did that,
and it's
I made you watch.
It's still a running joke where she's like, oblivious to like everything around her.
It's so funny. It's like, how does a character who has so much knowledge about this stuff know nothing about anything?
Right. And every time like they go to like that joke again, my mom like looks over at me. I'm just like, anime.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that as being a bad trope too.
If you take it too far,
it's just a way to lengthen the story, because like, well, we gotta make her stupid somehow.
She's a Mary Sue. Yeah, is that the right term?
Mary Sue.
Mary Sue, yeah.
But at the same time, they do explain it, because the way that she changes things actually changes the way the game would have played out. So like, things are fundamentally different than they were before. The flags are like still there and possible.
Her character is popular as a villainess. She's a popular person in that universe as a villainess, and now she's a nice person. Yeah. So she's popular and people like her.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like, they get to a point in the story, and in the original game, there's like a shift point where like these accusations get thrown at her. And in the show, it gets to that point. It's like, oh no, this is the point where they throw the accusations. And they start throwing accusations. And then all the people she's like befriended now stand up and
they're just like, hold it.
What are you talking about? This is all false. This isn't even, where did you get this? This isn't true at all. And they're like, I don't know what came over us. How did this happen? And like, there's just more questions now. It's interesting.
So don't say one way or another and stuff like that. But they hinted at what's her face, the white haired girl and stuff like that, being something more than who she is, being someone more than who she is.
No,
I haven't finished it yet, so I'm not even.
He's already seen the episode, but it's episode 7. They hinted at her being the villainous friend from her past life.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And
I've got nothing to spoil yet.
Okay, gotcha. I was just like. I
actually kind of forgot about that, to be honest.
Well, like, it happened, and I was like, so, like, I literally said it out loud. I was like, so they're probably gonna like eventually say something about like the white hair girl's past and stuff like that.
The white hair girl being the
sister,
the raven black haired sister.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Just wanted to make sure you weren't talking about the blonde haired main character, because her hair is fairly white as well, but not white. Anyway.
And I was like, so how many episodes do you guys think? I was like, how many episodes do you guys think before they like start like investing more into that plot line or whatever?
So she has said some stuff like slipped up a little talking about Japan.
And my parents are like, what are you talking about? Like, what's
this? Am I totally oblivious when I watch this show?
Because she slipped up a little about having knowledge of the game or talking about stuff relative to her past life.
Maybe
so I wonder if she's gonna like.
Maybe I'm just stupid.
She said stuff relative to like, have we like? It feels like we've done this before.
Yeah,
and so
or she's talked about like having sweets and stuff and like things related to Japan.
Yeah. There's basically like nostalgic remembering.
Yeah,
or they're remembering stuff.
So I wonder if she's gonna like slip up and then white hair girl is gonna be like, oh, I remember this too.
Well, see what it is white hair girl hasn't in her head yet.
Yeah.
So
it's like if there's going to be like if Villainous says something that like she remembers from her past life that triggers white hair girl,
right?
And they both have recollection of like
PTSD,
who they were,
previous life PTSD,
Because the white hair, I mean, they both look nothing like how their actual their past lives did, and so it's like they're not going to be
characters.
Yeah. But that's all speculation.
Yeah,
and I don't even know if there's like a source material or anything.
I don't.
Yeah,
but I'm happy. I'm happy with that show.
Alrighty, well, that seems like about enough anime, video games, all that kind of stuff talk.
Yeah, I mean, there's still like other stuff that we want to go over, but I think we've reached the time on this one, and I think at this point we've covered enough that next time we can actually get caught up on all the things we want to talk about. Finish out this season and hopefully actually start some of the season, which started airing like what this week. So
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm
Yeah,
not working
generally.
75 hours again.
well, stop that. That's
Yeah.
actually
Actually,
dangerous.
I'm probably working Saturday. So.
Right.
All right.
Anyways.
Chase, take us out.
Yeah, this has been BakaTaka episode 33. As always, sitting on the left, it's
George.
in the middle, it's
Eric.
and I'm on the right, and I'm Chase. Don't forget to flex on them haters.
Yeah. Smash that like button.
Ring the bell.
Ring
Yeah.
the bell.
Did we tell them to subscribe?
They can do that too. They'll
You
figure
can-
it out.
It's the only other option that they have left.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways, that's been BakaTaka. Get out of here.
Later.
Peace.
Bye bye.
Why'd you actually throw up a peace sign? They can't see this.
You're dumb. Every girl who took too much methadone at a house party in 2008 and fell through a glass table has an Instagram called Our Little Victorian Terrace, where they post pictures of their dog on the sofa with a caption about how he's not supposed to be there. That is from, guess what? r/suspiciously specific. She's definitely calling someone else.
Oh man.